Thank you. Please stand by. If you are the chairperson, press the star key now. You will now be placed into conference.
Okay, hello everybody. Hopefully you all can hear me, and if you cannot, please type something in the little comment, the chat box, and I'll try to fix it right away. But welcome to the food prep webinar. I'm really excited to share this information with you today, and I had a lot of fun putting this presentation together, so hopefully you will enjoy it as well and walk away with some new information. Okay, so first off, this is me and my family, just so that you know who's talking behind the computer. It is a little weird not being face-to-face, but this is me and my family, my husband and my daughter, and I was born and raised in Colorado. Just a quick little history on me. Where you'll find me most of the time is in the gym or in my office here in Building C, and I am part of the Fitness Wellness Unit. I do have a holistic nutritionist certification, and I love talking about food and real food and just eating to nurture your body and give your body the fuel that it needs. That's my daughter with our beets and our carrots we grew last year. And I am a mother, so I get it. It's hard to do all these things and live this lifestyle and keeping nutrition and health in the forefront while trying to provide for your family and work 40 hours a week. It's a hard task, and you do have to prioritize a little bit, but it can be done, and hopefully this will make it a lot easier. So let's get into the bulk of things here and start talking about food prep. So first of all, why would we want to food prep? What are some reasons to do this? And why is this something that is beneficial? Well, first of all, it saves a lot of money. And in the long run, it can save quite a bit of money. Going to the grocery store and buying vegetables that you cook on your own, healthy oils, and your meat, that's going to be much more nutritious and save a lot of money rather than going out to a restaurant, impulse buying things that you normally wouldn't buy, and then also having to tip at certain places and things like that. And you can really rack up the money when you're eating out quite a bit. So really getting this food prep down will help with money. It saves time. If you think about it, at work, you get hungry. You have to get up, drive somewhere to go get food. That takes time. Wait in the line for the drive-thru or wait at a restaurant. That takes time. Order, pay. You have to get back to somewhere where you're going to eat. And how much time has that taken up? And by the time you were hungry to the time you eat, you probably overeat because you might get a little too hungry at that point and not have your food readily available to eat when you need it. So think about having that food in the refrigerator where you're at. You can take it somewhere else to eat it if you want to get out of the office, but how much time that saves. I mean, there's a little bit of time on the front end, prepping it all, but having it there and having it available to eat it when the time comes and you don't have to go running around to find something to eat, and it's a great time saver. And quite frequently, it's more nutritious. What we make at home, we know what's in our food. We know we made it with wholesome ingredients, good oils. Sometimes at the restaurants and at convenience stores and at fast food places, we just don't know what we're eating. And there's a lot of things that go into food these days may or may not be as wholesome for our body. So just knowing what's in your food and knowing you're getting the nutrients that you need from that food is a great thing to have. And then just the knowledge. Again, this kind of goes with more nutritious knowledge of what you're eating. And just know that running our body and how we run is a portrayal of what we're eating. If we're eating bad food and it's weighing us down and we're sluggish and we're tired, that's an indication we're eating some maybe sluggish food that is not working well in our system, and switching it to something more nutritious is going to help us run, help us have good fuel, help us have lasting energy throughout the day. Because that's what it's all about, is being able to last all day and do what needs to be done, and then go home and enjoy your family in the evening. Now, this is really interesting. I found this, or my boss actually found this and sent it to me. There's a study done on people that were working out, and the people that had their snack picked out before they worked out stuck to that healthy snack. However, if they waited until after that workout and were given the choice between their healthy snack or a brownie, they would choose the brownie instead. So it really makes a difference when that hunger strikes, having a good nutritious snack sitting there in front of you and ready to eat, and after working out. And just when, I think this goes over to when you get hungry as well, we're less likely to make that bad choice if you have a good nutritious choice sitting there in front of you already, or if you have your snacks ready and you don't have to go to the vending machine. When you get to the vending machine, how hard is it to make that healthy choice sometimes when you're starving and you want a brownie, and then feeling bad afterwards that you ate the brownie. So just seeing this study and seeing that, yes, as you get more hungry and after you work out, your decisions can be altered. So knowing that, and that's another great reason to just have some food ready at all times and always be prepared for when hunger does strike, and knowing that you have a nutritious snack that's going to fuel you. All right, there's some different ways to food prep. There's not just one way to do it, and I'm sure I have not hit on all of them here. I tried to get quite a few, but there's so many different ways to food prep. One way to do it is you could cook everything in one day, take a Sunday and cook maybe 2 dinners for the week or 2 lunches for the week and prep them all up, section them all out in different containers, and have them all ready. You can meal prep maybe one meal, be it breakfast, be it lunch, or be it dinner. However you want to do it, you can meal prep all 3. Sometimes breakfast is a little easier to just grab some things and go, but you can have everything ready if that's what you need to do, and that maybe in the weekend prep it all up. You can take and cook maybe 2 days out of the week. Maybe you'll prep food for about 3 days, have about 2 dinners ready, have some leftovers, get your lunches ready, have that all in the fridge, and then just know on Wednesday you'll cook for the rest of the week. You'll cook that dinner that night, and then maybe dinner Thursday night and Friday night you'll have ready, or you can use leftovers or something like that. So there's so many different ways depending on what you like to do. Lastly, you can get all the food prepped for that week and not necessarily cook it, but have it ready so that when it comes time to get it cooked, or like chopping food up, or you can even cook all the meat and have it ready so you can just add it to dishes. That's another way to do it. Just make sure you have your veggies chopped, making sure you have your lettuce, ready in the fridge, and just having all that prepared ahead of time can very much help for that food prep and for when hunger strikes. So I will talk about different ways to do things, but just know that by all means that's not the only way. There's so many different ways that you can take this and do it, and you really do have to adapt it to what works for you and your family and how you guys operate and what time you'll be eating dinner, and if you'll just have to think of all those different variables. The one thing that always works, though, is to have a plan and to usually write it down. There's a ton of apps, which we'll talk about next, but sometimes just taking pen and paper, I have a little thing on my refrigerator that has all the weeknights and what we're eating each night. Kind of holds you accountable, and then you don't get confused like, oh man, what was I going to cook on this day and I forgot, and I'm just going to buy something different. So it keeps you to this plan, and then you'll know, okay, dinner this on Monday is this, on Tuesday we're having leftovers. So it kind of helps to spread out your leftovers as well and get everything lined up for that week, and that helps tremendously. So here's some tools that we have found that works very well. I tried to look in different areas, but these are the ones that I found that really seem to help different people. First one is called Mealime. This is an app that is really kind of neat. It's a free app too, so you don't have to pay anything for this one. And what you do is you pick out your recipes for the week, and they have a ton of recipes on there. You can pick your diet. If you see over here, you can pick if you want to eat meat or if you don't eat meat or if you want low carb or however your diet is set up. You can adjust it a little bit. You can also adjust the recipes if you need to. I mean, you don't ever have to stick to a recipe. You can always modify. And then it gives you your grocery list. So you can go and get all those items and then decide when you're going to make those for the week. The only thing on this one is it doesn't have the calendar, like the week laid out. It just gives you the meals that you want, 3 meals, 4 meals, whatever it is, and the list. So you might have to just lay out your week of when you'll be cooking those meals or if you want to cook them ahead of time. But this is a great option to try out, and the grocery list really helps, and you can click them right off of your phone on there, so you don't have to have paper, and it's a great app. I've tried this one, and it works wonderfully. They do have good recipes as well. Next up is AnyList. This is a cool website or a cool app as well because you can go and grab recipes from anywhere on the internet. So if you like a certain person's recipes, or if you found a blog that you like and they do recipes, or if you found a person that writes recipes in book or something like that, you can grab those recipes and put them in AnyList, and it does create your plan for the week, and it also, so it has a calendar, so you can plan out your week, and it also gets you your grocery list ready, which is so helpful, so you get everything on there. And there is a free version, and there's a paid version, and I don't know the difference between the two. I haven't tried this one personally, but I think it would be great if you like different recipes from different places online. And then also you can share your list here, your grocery list, with your spouse or your friends or whoever is linked with you on this app. You can share your grocery shopping list, which is always nice to be able to do that. So this is another good option. Next up, we have Real Plans. I love Real Plans. I did this for about a year, and it's pretty much the same concept. You lay out your week. You get to pick which days you want what put in there. So I learned real quickly, I kind of overloaded my dinners, and every night I was trying to cook a different dinner, which didn't work for me or my family. I mean, that's just a lot of cooking, a lot of prep work that wasn't useful. Then we had a ton of food left over that we didn't eat. So I would suggest make sure you're only cooking for what you need. For us, that's about 3 times a week, like three nights. I make a dinner, we eat leftovers the rest of the nights and things like that. But this one you can add a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. You can go through, you can pick recipes and put them in there, and it works really well. It gives you the grocery list as well. It does all that. This one you do have to pay for. It is $14 a month, I think, but it's great. You can also pick your diet that you'd like in this one as well. So as you can see, they're all very similar and very helpful in a lot of different ways to really get your week planned out of what you're eating. And Real Plans is great because it populates it for you, and it kind of helps you to try different foods. And so if you don't ever eat butternut squash and the recipe calls for it, try it, see if you like the recipe, and go from there. So it's kind of a cool thing to get new food into your diet. So there's a lot of other ones, and I'm sure I've missed a ton of them, but Food Planner is another one. Yumly, I think that one is free. Both of the ones are free. And then Emails is similar to Real Plans, and that one is you pay for that one as well. I did that one for a while, and it was great as well. So they're just kind of nice to have somebody else figure out your plan too. And I feel like when you're given recipes, sometimes that's a lot easier than trying to find ones that you might want, you might not, but you like this ingredient, but you don't like that. So sometimes when the recipes are all given to you, like it is on Real Plans or emails or things like that, it helps to take out that thinking process and try new foods, try new recipes. Some you like, some you might not, but, you just keep going from there. Now, this is a book that I just bought and wanted to try it before I gave this webinar, and it is amazing. Her principles are great. So what she does is she takes 3 ingredients. She does a protein and usually 2 vegetables, maybe like a starch. So one week, like this week, for example, it was pork shoulder, sweet potatoes, and Brussels sprouts. So on Sunday, you cook all those. I had the pork shoulder in the crock pot. I had the sweet potatoes in the oven with the Brussels sprouts, cooked everything up, and then stored it all. And then she gives you 3 recipes to use those basic ingredients in for the rest of the week. And those recipes only take about 15 minutes to come together. You pretty much heat up the pork, add in the sweet potatoes however they're added, add in the Brussels sprouts, maybe some garlic, maybe some onions. I mean, you have everything chopped ahead of time, and you make that meal, and everything tastes different. She makes sure there's different sauces and things like that, because if you're one that doesn't like to eat the same thing all week long, I totally get it. This would be something that you would want to try. So you prep everything that Sunday. You have all your ingredients ready. Throw together a meal in 15 minutes. They're all different for the week. Yes, you have the same ingredients. However, they do taste different. They have different sauces. And it has been amazing. I love it. So if you are interested, try this. And it's been awesome. I would highly suggest doing that. It saved, I love it. So it works well for my family. So that is about all we have for ways of doing it. Like I said, I'm sure there's more, but this is pretty much the bulk of different ways that you can do it. So now we'll go into some recipes that I put together or that I found that I thought would be great to share for a week. I did a breakfast item that you can make up, and all of these are made in about 10 minutes. It's a very simple ingredients, healthy ingredients, and you can put them together. You have a breakfast, a snack, and maybe a dinner or lunch to use throughout the week. And I thought this would be nice. The recipes are actually on our website under our webinar, and under this webinar is where you'll find these recipes. So you can go find those after this webinar. But I'm going to go through each of these, show you how they're made, show you how simple they are and how nutritious, and hopefully maybe you can add these into your meal plan for the week. So first one we'll talk about is the mango black bean and quinoa salad. Here's all of our ingredients, very simple ingredients. I think people get sideways sometimes trying to make elaborate ingredients or trying to have way too many things put into something, or, just keeping it simple is a really great idea. And my husband will say, I destroy the kitchen. So the less ingredients, probably the better, and the less mess I'll make. So this one's great. You have your mango. Mango is in season right now, and it's a great thing to put into dishes to add a little bit of sweetness, add some fiber. It's a great fruit for that. We have our black beans. That's a good fiber source as well. Our quinoa is a great protein source. I measured everything out, and this is everything in their quantities that go into this dish. So just talking about this, the black beans and the quinoa are both great sources of protein. We want to make sure we have a protein, a carbohydrate, and a fat in each meal. Your carbohydrates are going to be your mango and your bell pepper. Your bell pepper you can use any color you want, but it just adds that nice pop of color. The more color we have, the more nutrients we'll get into our body. So it's a great thing to see all these different colors. Now our fat for this item, we do need a healthy fat, and that would be our olive oil that we have. So it's about 2 tablespoons of olive oil here, and those are the sauces that we'll mix this up in. So here we go. Hello, welcome to my kitchen. And we have just discussed the colorful mango, black bean, and quinoa salad. And here are all the ingredients again. Now we're going to just put them all together. But real quick, before we do that, I want to talk about the prep time a little bit for these. To cook the quinoa, it took about 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of hot water, and you just boil it and put the lid on and then let it simmer. It took about 10 minutes. And this, I opened a can of beans. This I chopped, and this I chopped while that cooked, so about 10 minutes total to get all of this ready. A great weeknight meal that you can throw together very quickly. So here we go. We'll put our quinoa in our bowl here, and we'll put the black beans in. And as we're doing this, we can talk about if you don't like black beans or you don't like quinoa, you can absolutely sub those out for other items, say chicken or even beef or something different, protein source if you want to put in there. Here are our bell peppers. Again, if you don't like bell peppers or you don't like orange bell peppers, put something different in there. I'm sure you can do any sort of vegetable that you want. Here's a mango going in. We talked about mango being in season, and it's a great thing to cook items that are actually in season. And they are a little cheaper at the store, and they are nice and flavorful. Here's our cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you can omit it, but probably add in something else for flavor. Here is our bowl of ingredients. So nice and colorful salad here. All right, now that we have that mixed up, we'll set it aside and make the dressing. So here's our dressing items on the side. This is just salt and pepper that I pre-measured. Those are 1 tablespoon of each. Here is our olive oil. So 1 or 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then we have our red wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of lime juice. You can absolutely use a real lime if you'd like. I just use a lime juice in my fridge and easy. And then whisk this up here, just give it a good stir. Get everything all mixed together. Then we're just going to pour it in here and mix it all up. All of our salt and pepper gets in there. All right, there we go, and then mix this up. And voila, our dinner is ready. Okay, so very easy to throw together. I did make a mistake. It's not a tablespoon of salt and pepper. It's only a teaspoon, which is reflected on the recipe. So that might be a lot of salt. Probably don't add that much. But you saw how easy that was to just throw together. That recipe is very versatile too. You can put it on a salad if you want to take it for lunch. Add some chicken in there, and or put it on top of chicken. Put it with chicken. You know, there's so many things you can do with that dish that it's really good, and it's nice and refreshing and a great summer dish because it's nice and cool. It's not warm and it doesn't take much to cook. All right. So next up. This is a recipe that I found that is now a staple in my house, and I actually buy bananas, and I buy way too many that I know we're going to eat because when they go bad, I make this, and I make it probably once a week just because they're so great. And these are the ingredients. Baby spinach is in there, so I put a ton of spinach in them, and this is one way I can get my daughter to eat some spinach because 3-year-olds don't really like anything green. It's really kind of silly, but here's all the ingredients. I have 2 types of milk on here. You can add any type of milk that you want. The sweetener in here is dates, and I added a little bit of maple syrup because I do think it needs a little bit of more sweetener. You're more than welcome to take that out, though. And then the bananas, of course, add some sweetener to that as well. So here's our ingredients all measured out. We'll go through them. So the bananas are great carbohydrate, complex carbohydrate with the oats and also the spinach. So you have your carbs. Your protein is going to be coming from the egg source. You can definitely add more protein to this. Sometimes I'll add collagen, or sometimes you can add some protein powders if you want to this to beef them up a little bit more on the protein side. And then our fat, this is our healthy fat over here, our oil. That I used coconut oil in this one. You can use whatever kind of oil you like. Just make sure it's an olive oil or avocado oil or walnut oil, something like that. Dates are a great sweetener along with having a lot of fiber. So they will help with the bowel movements and things like that. They're a great option. Plus, they are pretty sweet. So it's a great thing to have in there, and as well as the bananas when you're getting your potassium and your things like that. I would say these muffins are a little heavier on the carbohydrate load. So if you wanted to have these as a post-workout snack, that would help, or even a pre-workout snack or somewhere around your workout, that would help with the energy before and after those workouts. So those are the ingredients. And here, this is a two-step process. Here's the first step.
All right, welcome back. Now we're going to work on our green smoothie muffin. Now this recipe has two steps, so we'll be adding in these ingredients first, and then mixing it up in our blender, and then adding these ingredients second. All the instructions are in the PowerPoint, and I'll share those with you afterwards. I use a blender for this one. You can use a food processor, but we do need something to grind it up. Okay, so first, our spinach is called for 2.5 cups. I think this is a little much, but I like to make it nice and green. So shove that in there without cutting ourselves. Might be a little bit too much. I always try to put in as much as possible. Spinach is great because you really don't taste it, especially in smoothies. It's very well tasted. There's that. Next, we'll put in our milk. So here's the milk. And again, you can use any kind of milk you want. That's almond milk, regular milk, coconut milk. That was oat milk and coconut milk. I didn't de-pit these, so here's our dates. Make sure we get the pits out, because we really bad if we forgot to take pits out. There's 3 dates in here, not great sweetener. Along with this is our vanilla. Throw that in. A little bit of healthy fat oil. Throw that in. I like to get everything out of there. And then a little bit of a sweetener, maple syrup goes in. Okay. And lastly, bananas. Get all that in there. Okay. I'm going to go blend, and I'll be right back.
Okay, so here is the after blended.
All right, we're back. So I just got done blending the first ingredient. And as you can see, that spinach really shrunk down and looks pretty good now. The next step, we have our oats, rolled oats that we'll put in there. I haven't tried it with steel cut oats, but I think rolled oats blend up a little better. Now let's do our eggs in here. 2 eggs. And lastly, baking powder. All right, we will be baking these. Okay, so now I'm going to go blend one more time. I'll be right back.
All right. And last step here.
Okay, we are back. This is all blended. As I was blending, I scraped down the sides a little bit, especially the first time, to get all the ingredients nice and blended up in there. My blender is real nice. Now I can just pour into my muffin tin, and I don't use liners. I have the silicone one, and they pop out quite easily. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour them right in. Sometimes adding a little bit of oil to the muffin tin helps them come out a little easier. I found these pop out quite nicely. You can do liners as well, kind of whatever you'd like to If you have regular muffin tins, absolutely use liners. That would be a good option. So once we get these off board, they're going to go in the oven and bake. And then we'll be back with the finished product.
All right, so there is the finished product. Somebody asked if you could use honey, and absolutely. And you know, modify these recipes how they work for you. Sometimes you might have to cook it once, see what you like, and start manipulating some of the ingredients and seeing what you like. But absolutely, you can use honey. You can omit the sweetener, the maple syrup altogether. I find my daughter is more likely to eat them if I put that in there. But if you're using super ripe bananas, sometimes, like mine were pretty black, that the riper the banana is, the more sugar that is in that banana. So, but yes, use honey, you can use the maple syrup, you can omit it all together, you can try, see what happens, see what works for you. But here they are cooked. They popped out of there, and they're great. And you saw all the spinach that I used. Like I said, I like them really green, and I like to have a lot of those nutrients in there. So that was probably overkill. These tasted fine, though. You cannot taste that spinach at all. They really taste like banana and like bananas pretty much, and oats. So, yeah, those are a great snack option. Keep you going for a while, complex carbohydrate and that healthy fat in there. So try those out. And then next up, we have egg cups. This is a great option for breakfast. Here's the ingredients that I used. And I used these ingredients because my spinach was going bad, and so was my squash in the fridge. So I decided, well, I'm going to make a spinach and squash egg cup, and this is how I wrote the recipe. However, you can put anything you want in these egg cups. You can put broccoli, potatoes, any sort of breakfast meat, or any other kind of meat, pork for that matter. You can put anything in these muffin cups. Somebody just asked about how long do you bake the muffins and how temperature and how long. That is in the recipe that you'll grab off of the website. And I don't know it off the top of my head, or actually I could probably tell you. But anyways, it's on the recipe on the website. So go look there and grab the recipe, and it will be on there. But anyways, back to the muffin cups. So you can do anything with these. They're very versatile, and you can add cheese. I don't eat as much cheese, but you can definitely add some cheese, definitely add onions, garlic, and seasoning, whatever type of seasoning you want. Put oregano in there. I mean, whatever you like. These are very easy, and you can do so many different things with them. So here's what I did. I definitely saute the vegetables first because you're adding in that healthy fat that way. I think I used avocado oil in this one. So I sauteed those veggies, and you see they melted down to a very small amount, even though that was a large amount of spinach and quite a bit of squash, actually. So I think it was 2 squashes that I used, 2 yellow squash. And so I sauteed them down, and that took about, 5 minutes to get them nice and cooked. In that oil, I added some salt and pepper and garlic. I think I'm a huge garlic fan, and I will put garlic in everything, probably too much. Good thing my husband loves it too. And we can smell together, so it's not a big deal. But you can put garlic, onions, or anything in there, saute it all together, give it that flavor, make it taste good. You can also add salt and pepper or seasoning into your eggs as you whip them up and whisk them together. Either way, it'll work out. And this time I did grease the muffin tins because the egg cups do tend to stick a little bit more in these muffin tins. So I found that. But here we go. We'll put those together really quickly.
Okay, here we go. Here is our egg cup. We have our greased muffin tin, and I sauteed these with some garlic and salt. This is our squash and spinach, and then I just mixed up a couple eggs in here. So all we're going to do is take this and dump it out into each muffin tin. I'm only going to do a few. You don't have to watch me do all of them, but I'm going to get a little bit of the good stuff into each muffin tin. I'll do this first one. And then we'll go through with the egg. And I'm going to just, and we will put some eggs in each one, probably 4, like that. It's a little bit messy. So probably not all the way like that one. We could do just a little bit less. That will work good. And there we go. So there's 4 egg cups. And then I'll just finish filling these up and throw them in the oven. And they'll be ready to go.
So here they are done. I did end up only making 10 out of the 12 because I used 7 eggs. That's what I wrote on the recipe. Probably if I would have used 8 or 9 eggs, I would have filled up all the muffin cups. And then I did have some extra potatoes left over in my refrigerator that I ended up adding to a couple of them. If you notice, there's some sweet potatoes poking out or regular potatoes. So like I said, these are awesome. You can pack in the nutrients to eat first thing in the morning if you wake up and have your breakfast, and there's spinach involved, something green, something yellow, something, any other colors that you can get in there. That is such a beneficial thing for your body. That'll just get all those nutrients and your body will thank you. You'll have a lot more energy and your cells will be happy. So that is the goal of all of the items that I shared with you today, is to notice all the colors, the different colors, and how easy they were. I mean, the muffins didn't take very long to put together for sure. Now, does it take extra time than maybe driving through a drive-thru on the way to work? Absolutely. I mean, it does take some time and it takes some energy to put these together. And then I packaged them up for the week. I ate 3 in the morning, and that lasts me till lunch. It usually is pretty good, but that's a pretty easy breakfast that is cheap. I mean, you're looking at buying some eggs and buying a couple vegetables to saute. It's saving money for sure. So, and pretty easy to put them all together. All right. So that is all I have. Please let me know if you have any questions on anything. And the recipes are on our website. It's on dps.gov, our external website. And if you go under our webinar tab, it will be under this link for this webinar is where you'll find that recipe link. I can actually try to go there now. Let me share. Hold on just a second. Let me share that one. I'll go to their website really fast. Okay, so here is the internet. I'm actually going to use a different one. If we come to the internet, here's our website here. So it's dps.texas.gov ETR. And if you go to Fitness Wellness Webinars, you will click there. And this is internal and external, so you can access this on your cell phone at home. You don't have to be on the DPS net. And see right here, we have PDF recipes. So definitely come here and click on this. It'll bring up that PDF of all those recipes we just did. And while we're here, I can point out some other great things that are on here. We have workouts of the day. If we click here, you can click on the day if you're needing a workout. They're 30-minute high-intensity workouts. Under our nutrition tab, we do have a snack matrix, which I'll bring up very quickly since we talked about food prep. These would be great to have some of these prepped and sitting at work or sitting in your office or in your car even, having some of these things around for when you do get hungry and you don't go buy a Snickers bar instead, right? So at the top here, you have your carbohydrates, because remember, we want a carbohydrate, a protein, and a healthy fat with every time we eat. We want to make sure we're getting all of our nutrients in and all of our sources of calories. And then on this side here, we have our fats and our proteins. So we pair. So we can take baby carrots and hummus. That's a great snack to have. Lots of fiber, lots of great complex carbohydrates, plus that hummus does have some great protein, plant-based protein in it. Here you have some low-fat yogurt, and you can do, I like grapes or berries in it. You can do berries in yogurt. That tastes great. So here you have your carbohydrate plus your protein source, and that's a great snack to have on hand if you have a refrigerator handy. Peanut butter and an apple, if you're eating a fruit like an apple or a banana or something like that, definitely add that fat to it, that peanut butter to it, so it buffers that insulin spike, because yes, fruit is healthy for us. However, it will spike up our insulin if we're eating it by itself. So keep that insulin at bay and add that fat to it. You can even have an apple and some mixed nuts or something like that. Just pair some of these. Some of these don't pair very well, but you know, you'll get the gist of it. So this is a great resource on here if you need some additional snacks that really don't take much prep. I mean, you might have to slice your bell pepper, but that would be pretty much it. So that's a great place. And again, that's under our nutrition tab, and it's here in the second or the third paragraph. What else do we have? There's this Naturally Slim. Here's the handout for it. Naturally Slim is a program through our insurance that helps with weight loss. So if you're interested in doing that program, check out the handout. It's a great program. I haven't tried it, but I've heard great things about it. And there's a lot more. We have our fitness class schedule on here for headquarters. Here's when we teach cross-training classes, and there's just a lot of information on here if you like to come to our website. So that is about all that I have for you today, and thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions or comments, concerns, please feel free to email me and let me know what you think of that food if you cook it up and you love it. Don't tell me if you don't like it, though. No, I'm just kidding. You can if you want. But let me know what you think, and thank you for joining us.